I want to do a very warm welcome to everybody who's come. That was a very interesting presentation that we had earlier today on the circadian rhythm. And yeah, it seems like more and more people are getting off balance these days and out of rhythm. My 11-year-old nephew can no longer sleep anymore because he is so off on his schedule. And I'm just like, wow, it's needed both from old and young. So before we go into the next portion of our presentation, I'd like to invite Timmy to, you want to do it now or? We can do that in between, so we'll do it in a little bit. Okay, sounds good. All right, I'd like to welcome Susan, the Field Health Department leader, as she presents to us some very important words for this season.
Can you hear me? Testing? All right, great. Okay, so haven't done this in a long time. So I've been run a health clinic for the last 20 years, and what happens this time of year? What happens in winter? What are the common ailments we have in winter? Yeah, usually our body gets hit pretty hard in winter, doesn't it? And I'd like to go through some of the aspects of how to winterize our body. Okay, this is just... So is our health as important as our soul? Is it as equal to or maybe less? What does 3 John 1:2 say? Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. So that's equal to. So as your soul is very important that we come here every Sabbath and we help our spiritual life, our health is also very important. Because what happens when our health goes down? That's right, and a lot of times that's when depression is most common. Who has ever felt good and depressed? When you feel good, what do you feel like doing? You feel like moving, getting out there, talking to people, right? Winter is here and your body is trying to adjust to the lower temperatures, heavier foods, sedentary lifestyle, etc. That's what often brings us to a halt in winter. So, have you experienced a cold or flu recently? What do we have every year? I guess they're very busy now giving out flu shots, right? Free to entice people to take flu shots. Well, I'm going to give you a flu shot today. Free. And of course, you don't feel great. So ailments. Today I want to cover these ailments and help your immune system. The main thing is to help our immune system. Putting something in that damages our immune system, we end up feeling eventually our body has to work harder. So I'm going to hand out later some simple home remedies that we can use when we come up with these winter ailments. The common cold, also known as a viral upper respiratory tract infection is a self-limited contagious illness that can be caused by a number of different types of viruses. More than 200 different types of viruses are known to cause the common cold. So actually, if you have sometimes medicine for the common cold that's going on around now, it may be made for not that exact cold. So I'm just going to go through these quickly. For this reason, colds are a frequent and recurring problem. In fact, children in preschool and elementary school can have 3 to 12 colds per year, while adolescents and adults typically have 2 to 4 colds a year, because they're in contact with other children that have colds as well. The common cold is the most frequently occurring illness in the world, and it is a leading cause of doctor visits and missed days from school and work. Symptoms of common cold include nasal stuffiness or drainage, sore, scratchy throat, sneezing, hoarseness, cough, and perhaps a fever and a headache. And many people with a cold feel also tired and achy. These symptoms will typically last anywhere from 3 to 10 days. I remember we had an old German doctor in our little outback town in Australia, and people would go to him when they felt like a cold, especially a flu. And he was not one to readily just hand out medications. And he'd go, "How long have you had it?" And they're like, "Oh, 2 or 3 days." "Well, it normally takes 2 weeks. Go home and rest." And sure enough, the symptoms would last about that long. Many people confuse the common cold with the flu. The flu is caused by an influenza virus, while the common cold is generally not. While some of the symptoms of the common cold and influenza may be similar, patients with the common cold typically have a milder illnesses. So with a flu, of course, when you have a flu, it becomes a little stronger, you're more aching, you have a temperature, generally, you lose energy. A lot of people with colds can generally still function and get around, unless it can get you down as well. So patients with influenza are usually sicker and have more abrupt onset illness, etc., coughing, extreme weakness, and commonly called the flu. And it often is caused by RNA viruses that infect the respiratory tract. So that's why there's a lot of coughing with it as well. It's affecting the lungs. In most people, the infection results in the person getting fever, cough, headache, and low energy. In severe cases, you can have very sore throats, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. And this is generally more so in the winter. And I'm going to explain that, what's going on in the body, why is it happening to the body. The majority of individuals have symptoms for 1 or 2 weeks and then recovers. However, compared with the common cold, the flu infection can cause more severe illness and even can cause death. Of course, this was done before COVID. So, with these annoying ailments, just remember, whenever you're sick, there's 2 familiar words that you need to remember. It's the immune system. If we have a strong immune system, all sicknesses attack the immune system. The immune system will take care of us if we give it the right fighting materials. We have to have the right soldiers in there. They have to be active and energetic. So our immune system is kept strong and will ward off sickness, even cancer, and our symptoms will be mild to none. And often, if you do some simple things at home, you can breeze through many, many winters and not have a sniffle or a cough or a flu. And if you do, you know straight away what to do. So we can choose to have strong or weak immune system. And as we heard this morning, the choice is ours, isn't it? How we affect our immune system by our lifestyle choices. So, do you want to be free of sickness and experience energy and vitality? The two main basic aspects that the body needs in order to build a strong immune system, just two. What do you think they are? Two. Cleansing and nourishing. So a lot of times the symptoms of a cold or a flu is the body just trying to throw off, build up toxins, waste in there. If we can clean and kind of give the body a little bit more strength, and if we nourish the body with the right nourishment, the body will have energy to actually fight. It's especially when everything's going around and hitting us. Body cleansing is simply the process of helping your body to purge itself. So just lessening the load on our system so that our body has energy to be able to recover. And I think most of us experienced that during COVID. And we all were sharing with each other. I do this and do this and do that. What were we sharing with each other? We were sharing help on how to strengthen our immune system so that we could get through it. And we basically did. Completing a cleanse also helps your kidney and liver to recover from many preservatives and additives commonly found in today's over-processed foods. And there's also toxins bombarding us everywhere. Toxins from the environment, toxins in even our products, what we put on, and of course what we put in our bodies. So cleansing or detoxing, and this was my area of dealing with mostly, was doing cleansing, helping people cleanse. It helps the body pick up and lessen suffering. So there's 5 organs of elimination. So whenever you're feeling not well, remember the 5 organs of elimination and work on making sure that they're able to be free and cleansing. The colon, what's another one? What's another organ of elimination? That's right, the skin. Lungs, what's another one? Liver and kidneys. Oftentimes we, as a colon therapist, a lot of degenerative diseases have shown that significant percent of body weight consists of accumulated waste. I've had some lose over 10 pounds in one session of waste, just flushing. And the only reason why it came through in one session is because he'd been juicing. So he gave his body energy. When you give your body energy, it has more strength to be able to cleanse. And just hydration is very, very important for the body to be able to cleanse. So you got waste can build up everywhere in the system, the blood vessels, the lymphatic system, the joints, the intra and extracellular regions. 70% of the body's immunity is in the gut, and the largest amount is found in the colon. there's a lot of waste and pounds impacted. It can be plaque waste, it can be mucus waste, it can be parasites, and fecal matter can be in there. So this is after a cleanse and after the person has been really working on cleansing the colon through a specific program. So anytime you're not well, bathing the colon in warm water and letting it expel, letting it take some relief, often you'll feel immediate relief from headaches. You'll see the mucus won't have to come this way, it'll be cleaned out. And so it'll kind of alleviate a lot of cold symptoms. And then you feel great. And we have some people here after a clonic have felt much better, headache before a clonic and gone after. So that's just basically reducing the body's toxic load. So colds and flu remedies are everywhere. In the drugstores now, what do you have? Shelves and shelves and shelves of cough syrups and cold medications. So these medications offer temporary relief, usually only. They don't take away, and they actually burden the body even more to have to deal with that later. So what are some of the things that you can help prevent it? We know a lot of these are just common sense for us, but what do we need sometimes larger doses of during winter? We need more vitamin C, more citrus, things that will actually boost our immune system. And of course, we have garlic. Store up on your garlic. It is good for germ fighting and building up our immune system as well. Garlic has been touted for legendary germ fighting abilities. The phytonutrients in garlic can help fight infection, improve cardiovascular health, and lower the risk of cancer. It also brings down high blood pressure too. I drank a bunch of a garlic drink with a citrus just before I went to the doctor, and my blood pressure was really good after that. And especially if we're plugged up around our sinuses and we have a really congested headache or nose, steam humidifier. In Australia, we have eucalyptus everywhere. It's very common. Everyone knows that when they've got a cold or a stuffy nose, they put boiling water in a bowl, put some eucalyptus oil in it, put a towel over their head and breathe it in, and that opens up and it helps drain the nasal. So what's that doing is basically helping the body get rid of the buildup of toxins there too. Also, even just standing in the bathroom and letting the steam open you up. If you go to the gym and it has a steam room, use that. That often opens up the pores of your skin and it also helps you breathe. So that can relieve a stuffy or runny nose. Sauna. Making you sweat empties out toxins with your skin. Did you know that there's more waste or dead skin cells coming off your skin every day than a bowel movement? Pounds, in even pounds. So the skin is constantly shedding its cells. So if you make sure that when you if you get one of those scrubbing things, help cleanse your skin. If you're game to go to a Korean sauna, you will enjoy a really, really good scrub. And the therapist that worked on me, in one scrub, I weighed myself before and after, and it was a pound difference, just in one body scrub. But they scrub. better than your mum ever scrubbed you. You are glowing for days. You will no longer be itchy. And that's why we are often itchy in winter too, because our skin is drier. We have dryness everywhere. So help your skin. Your skin is the largest organ of elimination as well, making you sweat. So if you have availability to find a sauna, try it. I try to get in ours at least 2 or 3 times a week, and then have a warm shower and finish with a cold shower that closes all your pores. And I usually stand under the cold shower and count very slowly to 100. And you feel that helps inflammation, that closes the pores, and it actually builds up circulation. It's better, tell your friends, it's better than coffee. When I'm in a cold shower, I'm like, wow, I can do this and this and this and this today because I feel so alive. So saunas are good for when you're feeling achy. You need the warmth. That feels good on your joints as well. And also the rise in temperature also kills fights off the colds and flus, the germs. For a sore throat, salt water gargle is good. And what's another gargle? I don't think I have it here. If you have a sore throat or if you're feeling like you're losing your voice, sprinkle a bit of cayenne pepper in a bit of water and gargle that and swallow it down. And it's like an instant relief. Peter's often done that when his voice is becoming hoarse and he's had to speak all day at a seminar or something, and that night he can hardly talk. And if he gargles with cayenne pepper, he can keep going. Rest. Rest is very important. Because we have our screens and we have lighting, and we often push ourselves to go longer. Rest, your body actually recovers when we rest. And I just pulled up something because I remembered it. We're talking about our rhythm of our body. There's also a rhythm or a cycle while we sleep. The body is actually detoxing different organs at different times of the night. So that's why it's, let me see what time. Between 3 and 5 p.m., your bladder is detoxing, so drink a lot of fluids right up till about that time, and hopefully that won't bother you too much at night time. So drink a lot during the day. We need water. Between 5 and 7 p.m., the kidneys are detoxing. 7 to 9 p.m., the pericardium is working. That supports the heart functions, etc. And this is very important too, between 9 and 11, we should be basically, the endocrine system and the metabolic systems are slowing down. And between 11 a.m. and 1 a.m., 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., the gallbladder is going through a cycle of cleansing. And it's very important too, between 1 and 3, the liver is detoxing. And I find a lot of people that will go to sleep and wake up between 1 and 3. And that's usually a lot of times is the liver is a little congested and it needs cleansing, it needs help working the liver. So there's a lot of reasons what's going on with the body and what is happening when we wake up at certain times. The body is cleansing. And then what do you think happens after the liver as the body starts working the waking up times? Between 3 and 5 a.m., the lungs are starting to clean out, and I find that's the time I think my husband snores the loudest. It's when his lungs must be working, needing cleansing. Between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., what's the best thing you can do when you first wake up in the morning? Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Warm water or a bit of warm and lemon water. Why? Because between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m., your large intestine is working, and that should cause a release. The bowels should be able to move. And between 7 and 9, that's when the stomach is ready. So I just thought I'd bring that in with resting in the cycle. The body is still working at night time. But did you notice what isn't working at night time? The stomach shouldn't be working at night because all these other organs have their times that they need to detox. So the body is amazing of how it functions and how it works. Staying warm is also important. Don't get a chill, but when you warm up with a shower and you have a cold shower, that's not getting a chill because you're actually bringing your circulation to the surface. You don't want that prolonged though. Some people can handle it more prolonged, like I can, but a lot of, when you first start out, just do like 1 minute under the cold shower. You can't get rid of a cold or sore throat with antibiotics because colds are caused by viruses and antibiotics only work against bacteria. So a lot of times with over-medicating with probiotics, the body builds up a resistance, and then the gut has a problem with too much killing off the good bacteria, and then it can't handle, then we end up with superbugs that the probiotics or medication can't handle. So let's keep our immune system strong so we don't rely on getting stronger and stronger medications to help us. And as I mentioned before, breathing in steam, or even put a steamer in your room or a humidifier or aromatherapy thing, put some essential oils in it. Eucalyptus, lemongrass is nice, like a blend. Some of the things that will help. Even standing over the sink with hot water, but a hot boiling water with a towel is very... And also, my father, who was a diver, he couldn't afford to get a cold. Because when you're diving and you've got a mask on, you can't have a blocked nose. So you know what they do to keep their nose clear and everything all through up here? Is they actually hold their nose and suck up salt water, saline water, and blow it out, and then do the other on the other side. And that will clear out a lot of congestion up through your nose. And I think they call it the neti pot now. But you can just do that in a bowl with your, and you know, that will relieve a lot of build-up in your nose. And that's how to do a vaporizer. I'm sure you've tried all this, right? Very important, hydration is very important. I wish there was some young people here, but maybe you don't know too as well. We don't drink enough fluids. And of course, those who drink caffeinated, I used to have to tell my clients, drinking caffeine is like you drink 1 cup, you're dehydrating 2 cups of water from your system. So hydration is important. We had a young person last week helping out, doing some stuff. I never saw him pull a bottle of water to his mouth the whole day. And we kept saying, drink water, drink water. So hydration is important. The body needs to be able to cleanse itself, because if the cold has clear, runny congestion, that is okay. You're cleaning out. But if you're not drinking water, that clearness can get thicker and harder to, and it just means the mucus in you is not hydrated enough. And so it becomes even more congested. Water and ginger tea are good. A really nice ginger tea is fresh ginger, as I was making last week. Sliced ginger, sliced apple, and I put some of those herbs that are good for your throat, like throat coat or whatever, in those little packets in there. Mullein tea, sage, thyme, all that, put it in a pot, boil it up, and the natural sweetness in apples will be the natural sweetness. You can add a bit of honey if you want. Drink lots of that. That's amazing. That helps your gut as well. Eat less, drink more, give your digestive system a rest from heavy cooked foods. That's when you're feeling down. A lot of times fast, even if you can, or the very light soups. Drink nourishing fresh vegetables and fruit juices, and especially I find green drinks. Green drinks add oxygen to your cells, and it's chlorophyll to your system. Very good for keeping your energy up. And chlorophyll is the oxygen helps kill free radicals. It will cleanse you and at the same time give you energy. Last week I blended up some greens, and when you blend up greens, you'll often get a froth along the top. Don't throw that out. Strain it and pick up the froth and just dab it all over your face, and you'll feel the chlorophyll from that will waken up your skin. You'll feel so alive just having that on for 10 minutes and then wiping it off. That's a good refreshener for your skin. So in summary, when you're feeling down, just remember, cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. Help the body take the burden off it, and then nourish, nourish, nourish. The quickest way for me to nourish is juices and smoothies. And the body doesn't have to take too much time in digestion, and so it has energy then to keep cleansing. So when you take care of your body, it will take care of you. Okay. All right, so who wants the recipe I have a recipe here for a natural antibiotic cough syrup and a flu bomb. You can go on now with the next. Oh, take this off.